I had almost like tricked myself into
Mm.
thinking that I had like this great passion and like this was the one thing that I wanted to do.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the TAKAGAI channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Taka. Originally from Japan, I'm a 23-year-old recent college graduate from the United States. And through this platform, alongside with weekly guest speakers that I invite, we share with you advice on career exploration, the importance of soft skills and how you can develop them through your college career, and finally some life lessons that we've learned on the way through our life journeys. Today, I have with you Hikaru Hotta as my guest speaker. He's a recent college graduate from Stanford University in computer science, also originally from Japan. And he'll share with you how he switched career paths during his undergraduate career, and as well as some of the practical job application tips, including building meaningful relationships and how that leads to networking, which leads to ending up getting an offer, an internship offer, or a full-time offer. And finally, some life lessons that both Hikaru and I learned along the way throughout our journeys so far. And so if you're interested to hear any one of those that I mentioned, make sure you keep continuing watching this video. And most importantly, I've put a timestamp in the descriptions below for you to skip to any sections that you're particularly interested in. So make sure you check that out. If you're taking any value out of the content that I'm sharing with you with, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also turn your notifications on so you don't miss out on the juicy weekly content that both my guest speakers and I will share with you. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
I'm very happy to have Hikaru Hotta as my second invitational speaker. Hikaru, thanks for coming today, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, so just to give everyone a bit of context, Hikaru and I have known each other for, I get this wrong every time, 15 years, around, since 15 years, something along those lines. And yeah, we met each other in Singapore, and now we're both in the States. But without further ado, I'll let Hikaru if you can introduce a little bit about yourself and take us through your life journey, that'd be great.
Sure, yeah. So I was born in Japan, like Taka, and then because my parents were expats in a couple different countries, I was able to live in Singapore for a couple years, where I met Taka. And yeah, apart from Singapore, I lived in Thailand and Vietnam, and yeah, I just had a blast growing up in Southeast Asia and going to international schools. Other things about me, I've always loved the ocean, and I like started scuba diving at a really young age. So I think growing up, a really big motivation for me was to study the sciences, especially biology, go to college and study like marine biology, and then do marine research at like some facility on a small island somewhere for the rest of my life. Yeah, that was like the dream I had like growing up. Um, yeah, I guess that's a little bit about me. Should I talk about like what happened after that, or?
Yeah. So you mentioned you were interested in the marine biology, that type of thing. And so you went on to university from Vietnam to the US, right?
Right.
And yeah, what happened over there?
Yeah, sure. So went to college, and yeah, I took a whole bunch of chemistry and biology classes because like um I thought that was what I was interested in it, and like honestly like I didn't enjoy them at all. I thought like it was all really terrible, but I just had this dream in mind and this goal for the future, of like being able to do something I love every day. So I just like kind of pushed on. Um, but then yeah, after my freshman year, during the summer, I spent I think like 3 months doing marine research. Um, And I think that's when like a lot of my dreams like around this lifestyle came like crashing down. It might have been like the type of research that I was doing. It might have been because like I was still a freshman. I wasn't like given that many responsibilities. It might have been like a lot of different factors, but yeah, it was just like a lot of repetitive work and counting. And yeah, I kind of fell out of it. Yeah, I just didn't um, feel like this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And because like I had this clear-cut goal and dream for so many years, like I was like pretty devastated.
Right.
So I think that was like a really big turning point for myself. Um, and yeah, I knew that like it would be unhealthy, like just like trying to pursue this dream any longer. I Yeah, I realized that I needed to like diversify my skill set so that like I can potentially go into any field that I wanted to. So yeah, that's when I started taking on computer science and when I started treating it seriously. And yeah, initially like I thought the problem solving aspect of it was interesting,
Mhm.
but yeah, it didn't necessarily like spark joy in me, but it was definitely something that I could like continue to do. And I think I felt a lot of satisfaction from like knowing that I'm like learning new things every day, learning new frameworks and how to use them. So I think that became like a really big point of emphasis for me and source of motivation. So yeah, I just kind of kept going. And then yeah, currently I'm pursuing machine learning. I'm doing an internship at an e-commerce company in machine learning. And yeah, just like looking back, I'm like, yeah, honestly astonished by like how far I've come in the last 3 years because like coming into college, like I think I was like pretty technology averse, I guess. Like I didn't take like any computer related classes like throughout high school. And yeah, I just like kind of assumed that like it wasn't my domain. But yeah, now that yeah, looking back, I think I made a really good decision and that um yeah, does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. That was thanks for sharing that. Right, I think it's a lot of times it's really hard to share those devastating stories, especially for you where you had this dream for so long and that sort of crashed in a sense, right? Because of, in a way, it was good for you that it helped you realize what you don't, that it's really actually not what you enjoy. But I really want to touch on that part where you realize that, you know, the biology, your sort of dream in that area wasn't for you. How were you able to come back and, you know, get back on ground?
I don't know whether there was like a big transition for me personally. I think um, I just I continued uh, to work hard, like just the way I had prior to that, but just like focus my energy to something completely new. And yeah, it was really rewarding to yeah, just find myself going every day. I think like one of the big takeaways I got from this is that like um, looking back, I know that like people say like pursue your passions.
Right.
I think that's like really important. But I think a lot of people, especially when they're young, as I was in college or high school, I think it's like easy to try to follow that too much and like narrow your focus too much. And I think like for me at least, like I had almost like tricked myself into thinking that I had like this great passion and like this was the one thing that I wanted to do. So yeah, I think like just like trying to find something that you're like interested in or at least passionate about, but like I think it's like advisable like not to find something that's too niche, but rather find something where that's like a little bit more general and like you can branch out from there.
Yeah, yeah. So essentially what you're saying is, unless you have a very set dream, well, I think first lesson there is to actually test your hypothesis kind of thing, right? Where you need to test if that thing that you thought was your dream was actually what you really wanted to do. And in your case, after the research experience, during the summer in your first year, that hypothesis was kind of wrong, right? And so being general, having that open mindset of trying different things at the same time, if you do think you have a passion, make sure you sort of try it out and see if it actually motivates you and interests you. I think is also quite a big lesson here.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, awesome. So you transitioned into computer science and then you went into the field of machine learning. You're currently interning there. Can you share with us how that process worked in terms of the actual application phase?
Right. So I think regarding like applying to jobs and whatnot, I think like there's something that like hasn't clicked yet. But yeah, I've just like received so many rejections like throughout the past 3 years of applying to things. But what I have been able to find success in is utilizing my network. And yeah, opportunities have kind of serendipitously presented themselves in unexpected ways. So, for example, for my current machine learning internship, um, one of my freshman year dorm, one of the people in my freshman year dorm had a brother who worked at the company that I'm currently interning at. And yeah, so he kind of reached out to me, and then because of that referral, I was able to go to the interview process and everything. So, and then I think for my internship 2 summers ago, and no, that was last summer. Last summer in biotech, I was just like at a career fair, and it was not even a recruiter who I was talking to. It was a representative from a company, and I was just like talking about my research, and it just so happened that my research interests like aligned with a project the company was working on. So yeah, I was just recruited for that. So I guess you just need to kind of make connections with people and take advantage of those opportunities when they present themselves, because at some point they will. And yeah, I guess that's like my advice for you. I don't know if you wanted like advice on like applications and like technical interviews and whatnot. I don't think I necessarily have that, but
No. But the idea that being able to just building genuine relationship, building genuine relationships up as you go, not just for internships and jobs. Of course, those are important, networking for sure. But over time, those relationships, you never know what happens to, and you never know where it takes you. And like in your case, it was your brother from your freshman dorm, right? So that's just crazy to hear. And I think people underestimate the importance of relationship building with just genuine relationship building across, pretty much anyone that you meet during your college years. So I think that's definitely something I can echo with as well. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, it's always good to just like talk to people because you don't know when those opportunities are gonna present themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And so on the job, you've been interning for about a month and a bit now. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So in your machine learning internship, I want to talk a little bit about soft skills. Of course, the hard skills on the technical side is very interesting. We can probably have another session on that. But
Right.
soft skills side, what do you think is the most important soft skills that you're currently using?
It might just be like a personality thing, but I just like try to exude enthusiasm and a sense of curiosity. Well, that's like what I've tried to focus on throughout my internship so far, and I've like been trying to have weekly one-on-ones with like people outside of the department, just like to yeah, reach out to people, as I said earlier, because like opportunities might present themselves in the future. But yeah, just like trying to remain curious and reaching out to people and asking about their stories and their backgrounds, just like the way you are kind of doing right now.
Yeah, cool. And in terms of moving forward, right? Where do you see yourself going? Because
I think I see myself working in software engineering or machine learning engineering for at least a couple of years. I think um, I'm like relatively like undecided about things. I just want to keep my options open, and I'm still in the process of looking for something that I'm really interested in, really passionate about. And honestly, I don't think I'm gonna find that out in the next couple of years, but I think I just want to try a lot of different things and make baby steps towards yeah, realizing my goals.
yeah, awesome. I think I didn't even ask you, but you just gave a quick, you just have slid in a cheeky plug of what my channel and what my, you know, the blog, the Takagai blog. At
Yep.
the end of every blog, I encourage everyone and I write, you know, make sure you take baby steps towards your goals. That's exactly.
Maybe I read that before and I was like
Okay,
subconsciously like influenced by that. I don't know.
that's awesome. Yeah, if that was the case, I'm honored.
That's
Cool.
why marketing is so effective, because like people just look at things, but when they buy things, they don't realize that like
Yeah,
that they saw the ad and that's why they're buying it, you know?
yeah. Now that you mention it, it's kind of scary. I need to be careful with what I put out. It's definitely going to be. I mean, it's for sure going to be good things, but it definitely has an impact on people for those that actually read it. So, yeah.
Sure.
But the last thing I want to sort of dive into is we kind of already touched up on a lot of this, but if you can maybe share one or two additional life lessons that you've learned along the way, apart from the ones that we talked about, if you have any. If not, no worries.
You just heard me groan because um oof, I I wish I spent more time like reflecting on things, but sometimes I just like to take it one day at a time. So let's see.
That might be a life lesson.
I guess so. I don't know. I'm not like overly I'm not like too analytical about myself, which can, I don't know whether that's a good thing or not. It might be pretty neutral, but oftentimes I, yeah, just try to rely on um, doing what I think is right, and also like seeking advice from other people.
That's all the topics that I wanted to share with the audience. So thanks again, Hikaru. And if you don't mind, for if any of the audiences want to reach out to you, learn more about, you know, the transitioning from a completely different sector into a technology sector, and you're obviously doing really well in machine learning. Are you fine with people reaching out to you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, awesome. In which case, I'll put Hikaru's LinkedIn URL link in the descriptions below. Make sure you guys go and attack him on LinkedIn. Awesome. And to end, as we discuss, do you want to let everyone like and subscribe?
Oh, right. Wait, I'm supposed to do this in Japanese, right? Wait, hold on. I forgot like all my Japanese. It's very bad. What was it? いいねとチャンネル登録お願いします。
Let's go! Thanks again, Hikaru, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.